Ippo's new Dempsey roll is insane. Ippo has developed a brand new Dempsey roll, completely different from the one he always uses, and from the Dempsey counter he used in his match against Sawamura. From the looks of it, he just randomly throws heavy punches from below while simultaneously weaving in. But there's so much more to it than just throwing heavy punches from weird angles. Ippo developed this final evolution of the Dempsey roll as a means to surprise his opponents upon using it and finishing them off in an unforgiving yet brutal way. In this video, I will explain how this newest version of the Dempsey roll was developed, how it works, and to what extent its potential is. Ippo started developing the new variant of the Dempsey roll after the Alfredo Gonzales fight. In this battle, Alfredo exchanged heavy blows against Ippo's Dempsey roll, making it impossible for Ippo to land a hit on him. Even after using the Dempsey counter, which takes a toll on Ippo's legs and could potentially tear up his leg muscles, it had zero effects against Alfredo. So Ippo trained for the Dempsey roll once again, believing that increasing his speed would make it efficient once more. However, when he actually started to throw punches, he randomly went down and threw an uppercut, which felt significantly different in terms of power than when he normally uses the Dempsey roll. Ippo tried to use this version of the Dempsey roll, first weaving his head horizontally, then at the right moment starting to move vertically and land heavy punches. However, the first time he did this horizontal vertical combo, he almost tore up his leg muscles and decided to first train his legs until they could endure this newfound power of the next evolution of the Dempsey roll. Upon going through a harsh training routine, Ippo wanted to showcase this new Dempsey roll to everyone and its potential. At first sight, it looked like a normal Dempsey roll, but the coach quickly understood that something was different about this Dempsey. And so Ippo begins to throw his punches from below with a precise stance to hold his balance. Ippo threw punches from below and side to side to give an unpredictable approach for his opponents of where the punches will come from. The only difficulties he faces are that it could become predictable over time, and Ippo needs to stay in a certain distance to hit his opponent and can't possibly advance. So this horizontal vertical version of the Dempsey roll is still essentially incomplete. When Ippo went to train on his new Dempsey even more, Coach Kamogawa approached him and told Ippo that the newest Dempsey roll is amazing, but he should change it up entirely. Instead, he should weave in diagonally. When he weaves in diagonally, it would be easier to switch from a horizontal to a vertical angle, and if he is too far away from his opponent to punch, he can step in quickly to throw an uppercut or a gazelle punch and find his rhythm back to a diagonally weaving stance. To accomplish this, Ippo had to further develop his leg muscles, but in that, the coach assisted him in his training. When it comes to training a boxer, Coach Kamogawa is the best at it. He knows what his boxer wants to accomplish and trains them accordingly. And it shows when Ippo started using the diagonally Dempsey roll on the punching bag. The way he is drawn is reminiscent of the monster version of Ippo that we are teased with from time to time. However, when the time came to demonstrate the diagonal Dempsey roll on the sparring partner, Ippo lost his balance and was quickly knocked down. This was the moment when everyone, including Ippo himself, thought that he was punch-drunk and suffering from brain damage. The evidence that he actually suffered from CTE was never confirmed, but he showed all the signs. Difficulty drawing straight lines correctly, losing his balance easily, and even going down in a sparring match against Aoki. Freaking Aoki. In response, the coach suspended Ippo from the gym for a month to heal and recover. Instead, Ippo further developed his body and Dempsey roll. He started wearing weighted wristbands to train his muscles anytime during the day and trained his whole body muscles slowly to increase their strength. What ended up happening is that he further increased his power during his punches, and now he had so much balanced strength that he could effortlessly shift his weight at any given punch he randomly throws while using the diagonal Dempsey roll. Ippo showcased that he had no apparent symptoms of brain damage when the suspension ended, and he demonstrated the true potential of the diagonal Dempsey roll again when he used it against Coach Kamogawa. Ippo's next match was scheduled and everyone wanted to see the effects of the diagonal Dempsey roll on a real opponent in a real boxing match. So in his match against Antonio Guevara, Ippo was fixated on showcasing the destructive power of the new Dempsey roll to everyone. The first time that Ippo used this in this match, Guevara was able to block them to some extent until he slipped and Ippo could not further punch him anymore. When he went for it a second time, Ippo could not reach him since Guevara was a southpaw, and his stance confused Ippo's way of weaving in. After Ippo was close enough to throw his punches, he threw a single punch and wanted to use the Dempsey roll again. Unfortunately for him, his punch was too powerful, and he ended up downing Guevara. Ippo started getting frustrated that he still could not use the Dempsey roll, and his brain damage symptoms started to show up again when he lost control over his rhythm and was getting concussed by right jabs alone. As a result, Ippo was downed with a heavy left, and his symptoms were getting more evident now when he got back up and went for the Dempsey roll for the fourth time. He had no longer strength in his legs and was getting down again just by getting slightly grazed chest by the chin. Ippo got back up on his feet and pushed Guevara to the corner. There we witnessed an inner monologue that Ippo always knew that something was wrong with his body after the Gonzales fight. He knew that he suffered from accumulated damage to the head and is therefore running out of time as an active boxer. In his last moments of his professional career, he wanted to showcase to everyone what he and Coach Kamogawa have developed as the last thank you for the coach for shaping him into the person he has become. Ippo weaved in again and was ready to end his boxing career by showcasing everyone the newest Dempsey roll. He was going low to throw from below. Guevara had no choice left except trading punches in the last ditch effort, in which he was lucky that Ippo had suffered from accumulated damage. Since Ippo for some reason, instead of getting closer to Guevara, he backed off at the last moment, which only concludes that he indeed suffered from some damage to the head. In the end, Ippo was knocked out cold and couldn't finish what he wanted to start, showcasing the newest version of the Dempsey roll, not only to the audience in the ring but also to us the readers, since we still to this day do not know what effects the Diagonal Dempsey roll has on a real opponent. But we have seen him using it one more time in an upcoming sparring session involving Volk. After Ippo retired from the Antonio Guevara fight, he continued to train his body, further developed his boxing IQ, maximized his defense and could anticipate his opponent's incoming punches. So he was invited by Wally and Volk to the world title matches, and Volk wanted to spar with Ippo in preparation for his world title defense. What ended up happening was the moment they started boxing, the sparring session became a real boxing match where both of them really did hurt each other. Ippo broke Volk's ribs and Volk punched Ippo unconscious. While Ippo was unconscious, he pushed Volk into the corners and started to weave his head like he does while using the normal Dempsey roll. Volk was ready to counter it, but Ippo caught him off guard by going down, way below, and was ready to blow Volk's head off. Unfortunately for us, Sato stopped the sparring session before they would have killed each other. As you can see, the potential destruction is still unknown since we have never seen it actually connect with another opponent in a real boxing match, and the true potential it has is still unknown. But what do you think of the newest Dempsey roll? Will it be enough to destroy his opponents? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you've enjoyed this video then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Hajime no Ippo content. I am the Reading Crow and thanks for watching.